Former AEW star Rey Fenix made his WWE debut on SmackDown this week, winning a match and finally putting an end to months of speculation about his professional wrestling future. And this is a culmination of nearly a year of speculation, rumors, and reports about not only Rey Fenix, but also his brother Penta and their long, arduous journey to WWE from All Elite Wrestling. And if we're gonna talk about how Rey Fenix ended up in WWE, we have to go back and look at his usage, time, and departure from AEW. Now, Rey Fenix, much like his brother Penta, was an AEW original, and much of what Rey Fenix had been built up to be was Penta's tag team partner. While Rey Fenix was seen as a talented wrestler, there had never been a chance for him to really shine as a singles act, and that is why originally you saw him pushed heavily as a tag team act alongside Penta in the Lucha Bros. However, one night in Jacksonville changed all of that. Rey Fenix faced off against Kenny Omega in one of the best matches of the entire year of 2021. The match was for the AEW World Championship, and this was really the match that put Rey Fenix on the map as a single star in North America. He had had singles performances that were out of this world before that, but that was the first time that people really started to take notice, and that is how Rey Fenix got into the conversations of one of the best high flyers in all of professional wrestling. And that is when you heard clamorings from fans who wanted to see Rey Fenix do more as a singles act. And ironically enough, I do think that this may have been what led to their departure in a way from AEW. Because while Rey Fenix was great as a singles act, he was never pushed consistently enough as one to really tell a thorough, thought out story. And the issue is, when you take an act like the Lucha Bros, who tend to be very focused in their storylines, going for the tag team championships, when you take them away from that for a while, and you do side quests with Rey Fenix, you do side quests with Penta, and you have them go in these different directions and maybe come back together as a tag team, maybe not, it makes the whole thing feel disconnected for the fans, and it loses any consistency. And consistency is something that has actually led to a few people leaving AEW, from Miro to Saraya, and the list goes on and on. And Rey Fenix was no different. Rey Fenix, despite being one of the best high flyers in the entire world, became an inconsistent storyteller on TV. His presentation, albeit many times due to injuries, was also inconsistent. Some weeks he'd be on TV, other weeks he'd be out, and towards the end, himself and his brother were barely used at all. And about last summer is when we started to hear rumors and reports of Rey Fenix and Penta potentially leaving AEW. And it was even rumored that Penta and Rey Fenix were negotiating contracts with WWE, and they were as good as WWE bound. We now know and understand that that wasn't really the case, as both men at that point had time left on their AEW deal. And the complication with Rey Fenix was that he not only had time left on his deal, but AEW, because of his past injuries, had the option to add additional injury time to his deal, which would have extended his contract well into 2024. And around September, it was reported that that's indeed what AEW did. They had accepted the option year on Rey Fenix's deal, and Rey Fenix would be in AEW for much longer than his brother, who left the company in the fall and would soon after sign with WWE, making a big debut as a single star on the debut edition of Raw on Netflix. And many people were just waiting to see how this Rey Fenix situation would develop with AEW. Would Rey Fenix find a way to make things work in AEW, maybe go off and do a real singles run with that company? Would he wait out his contract, or would he complain about it? And spoiler alert, it was that last part. Rey Fenix took to Twitter and implied that AEW's treatment of him was, quote, inhumane. And while many people can disagree about whether or not that is an appropriate thing to say when you're being paid to be at home, the fact of the matter is the frustrations were there. And Rey Fenix did not want to be in AEW, and as we've now come to learn, AEW seemingly did not feel like they needed Rey Fenix, as it was reported just recently that he had been let go of his AEW contract and would be a free agent. That means that Rey Fenix was free to sign wherever. And the most interesting thing was not the fact that he signed with WWE, because as Penta had already signed, and there have been rumors and reports that himself and Penta were probably going there anyway last year. The interesting thing is that Rey Fenix and Penta are seemingly both being pushed as singles acts on separate shows. While the brand split may not be as set of a thing as it used to be, the fact of the matter remains that the fact that they are on two different brands being pushed as SmackDown and Raw exclusive talent respectively means that there are no plans as of right now for Rey Fenix and Penta to be together as a tag team. And while I'm sure that will change, it would make no sense for both of their runs in WWE to end without them ever teaming together. The eventual goal does seem to be build these guys up individually and then eventually work towards that end goal of them reuniting as a tag team. And I think there's potential for this to make them even bigger than they already are. I've said it before, I will say it again. I truly believe that Rey Fenix is one of the most fun wrestlers to watch in the ring. And given the fact that he's going to be in WWE, given the fact that they are going to make all of the spectacle of Rey Fenix shine on one of the brightest stages that there is, how far will his singles run go? That's up to how much they book him. But hey, I guess we'll see.